and I'm the co-founder and current project leader of Habibi.Works. Habibi.Works is a makerspace in the north of Greece, a platform for education, empowerment and encounter for people living in refugee camps, but also for members of the local Greek community. In October 2015, with a group that has nothing to do with what we are doing here at the moment, I decided to go to the Hungarian-Croatian border and offer food and water as a volunteer for 10 days. And arriving there and seeing the situation, I was really shocked. It really impressed me. Back then the borders were still open, people were passing the inner European borders in trains, and you have to imagine there were trains full with 1,000, maybe 2,000 people of all ages who hadn't had access to water, food or bathrooms for days. They didn't know in which countries they were, so they were desperate at the windows asking for information. And we as volunteers were allowed to approach them, while at the same time the military army, the military Hungarian soldiers were standing in our back with their guns ready, and there were snipers on the roofs around us ready to shoot anybody who would leave the trains. And that felt like a massive slap in the face, and I thought, well, this is the answer that the European Union is giving to people in need. So I kind of stopped believing that the European governments would provide dignified solutions for this challenge, and I decided to get active. I decided to stop waiting for solutions and start creating solutions. We actually by now have 11 different working areas running, from very traditional woodwork over metalwork to very advanced technology such as laser cutting, 3D printing and virtual reality, and we really believe that people having access to all these tools and this equipment is making a huge difference. They can grab the tools, grab the materials and build whatever it is they need. But then again, it is also about education. It's access to education. It's a platform where you can pursue your interests, because people living in camps, they don't have access to education. So you can share skills that you have. You can be in a position of training somebody, but you can also receive training from others. It is about mental health, because a lot of people are reduced to either being helpless victims or a threat for our societies, and in reality they are neither. They are really talented people, men and women, who could be enrichments for our society if we would allow them to integrate. So here they have a stage where they can kind of break with the stigma and the label of being a refugee or being helpless, because people are really active. It's also about encounter, because you have this neutral platform, this very welcoming context where people from different cultures, different contexts of countries of origin, speaking different languages, can meet and maybe understand for the first time that people in other places live their life according to different rules, and that's okay, as long as we are all respectful towards each other. Looking at the future of Habibi.Works, we really hope that at some point we, as a very international, very diverse team, will be able to include more and more Greek people. Because if we want this project to be sustainable, we have to have people on board who see their future in Greece. I really believe that every person can make a difference, and it doesn't matter what approach you take, whether you get active in a project, whether you set up your own project, or whether it's about your daily life behavior, the way you consume items, the way you interact with other people, the way you express your thoughts and language. Everything you do has an impact. And when we started in 2015 with only 5 people for 2 weeks over the Christmas break, nobody of us thought that our action would at some point lead us to a venture that is as big and as beautiful and as impactful as Habibi.Works, the project we are running at the moment. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to start small, because every small action can lead to a huge impact.